Hey there, life editors! You did it! Welcome to the 7th and final session of Life Editor Weekend Virtual Retreat. Thank you so much for joining me all day long while we live streamed on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for those of you who stuck around the whole day. Are you tired? I'm tired, but we're going to go one more session. And this is probably the session that I think most of us need the most right now. It is the 10 commandments of self-care. Yes, we are finally talking about step 5 of my life editing process. So stick around for that. For those of you who are brand new here, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Sage Grayson, and I'm a former book editor turned life coach. I help ambitious women edit their habits, routines, and mindsets to balance their happiness at work and home. I'm a life editor, and so are you. So this is the Life Editor Weekend Virtual Retreat. Remember to click the link in the description to download your workbook so you can write along with us for every single session. I want to make sure that you're taking notes and getting everything you need out of this retreat. So remember, click the link in the description to download your workbook. So this session, we are talking about the 10 commandments of self-care. But before we get to that, Life Editor Weekend is our kickoff celebration for my Life Editor Academy Mastermind group, which only opens up twice a year. I've been waiting for this all year long. I'm so excited. Doors are now open for Life Editor Academy. You can click the link in the description to apply for the Academy right now. Now, I'm going to share some more information about the Academy at the end of the session, but if you can't wait, click the link and get all the details about this powerful mastermind group. I would love to see you in our group. All right. So we are talking about the 10 commandments of self-care, and each of the sessions during the Life Editor Weekend Virtual Retreat, there is a giveaway for one of my digital programs. And this session, we are giving away the Mind Over Matter Starter Pack. The Mind Over Matter Starter Pack is a collection of 5 of my most popular lifestyle video training classes from the Life Editor Clubhouse membership site. So the classes that you get in the Mind Over Matter Starter Pack are Bookend Your Life and Find Balance, Minimalism Without Deprivation, Fuel Your Success with Treats and Rewards, How to Plan Intentional Weekends, and An Edited Mind. So if you want to enter the giveaway for the Mind Over Matter Starter Pack, all you got to do is like this video and leave a comment either on Facebook or YouTube underneath this video, and you will be entered into the giveaway to win the Mind Over Matter Starter Pack. Awesome. This is a way for you to test out the video training classes in the Life Editor Clubhouse without having to pay for a membership fee. It's really a wonderful way to kind of dip your toe into life editing. All right, so that's the giveaway for this session. We've made it to the end of the retreat, and we are talking about step 5 of my life editing process, which is make white space for personal self-care. So white space is literally a publishing term that means the white space on a printed page where there is no text and no images. So it's usually around the margins. So white space in editing terms gives the reader's eyes a place to rest so they're not bombarded by text and images all the time. White space is needed to have a pleasing layout. Now, personal white space is needed in your edited life so that you have a place to rest, relax, and recharge. It's self-care so you can be physically, emotionally, and mentally prepared to do what you need to do. There's a flip side of white space, which is giving yourself permission to do an imperfect job, to love yourself, flaws and all. So you can give yourself grace in your life and give yourself some self-care, but also give yourself a break and not be so hard on yourself. Here's a question that I get from lots of life editors as they're going through my life editing process, or if they join the Academy and they go through the steps one by one every month in the mastermind group. Why is self-care the last step? Like you would think, Sage, come on. Shouldn't we be taking care of ourselves first? Shouldn't self-care be the very first step of life editing? And there are some really, really good reasons why self-care in this white space is last. Well, first of all, if we're talking about editing, putting white space on your page when you're doing the layout is one of the last steps of book editing. But in terms of life editing, self-care is last because for the vast majority of my clients and people that I work with, they can't even begin to think about taking care of their own needs until they do the editing to clean up those bad influences, to add in those good habits and make some time, space, and energy before they can start thinking about their best selves. So I don't know if that's true for you. Leave a comment and let me know. Does that ring true to you? Like, I can't even begin to think about my own happiness, my own self-care, my own things until all of my other ducks are in a row. And I've noticed that too. Like, I can't even like focus on good habits until I clean up my house, until everything is in its right place. So that is why self-care is last. I feel like if we put self-care first, some people might take that as an excuse to goof off or be lazy, or like, oh, I'm going to spend all this time on self-care because it's super important, and never get to their actual goals. So I want you to do some of the hard work first and then reward yourself with self-care. And you'll enjoy it a lot more, and you'll actually be able to like focus on your self-care once all of that other work is done. Okay, so let's talk about self-care. Let's talk about your white space. I got some examples for you, and in your workbook, again, on the page where we're going through the life editing process, the last box here says make white space edits. So I want you to write down your ideas for making a white space, for getting that self-care in your life. And here are some examples for you. And we're going to go over even more examples as we go through the rest of the 10 commandments of self-care. But some examples, of course, are reading or doing a hobby for 30 minutes a day. Like, carve out that self-care time as if it were any other important meeting or appointment in your schedule, because it is just as important. We talked about this before, bookending your day with self-care. So you might do something in the morning for self-care and then do something at night for self-care. So maybe you're walking in the morning and then you're doing yoga at night. Or maybe you're writing your gratitude journal in the morning and then you're taking a bubble bath at night. So bookending your day with self-care. Just like bookends on a shelf, bookends of your day, something in the morning, something in the evening, keep you stable and upright and prevent you from falling over. All right, other examples, using treats and rewards, which we'll talk about again in a minute too. So giving yourself daily treats and then having some reward for your concentrated effort. How about having a meaningful conversation with a loved one? And you might not think about this being self-care, but how many of us have like really important things, the elephant in the room, that we should be talking about with our loved ones, but we don't. We don't want to talk about like paying off debt, or we don't want to talk about moving out, or we don't want to talk about whatever it might be. The uncomfortable things that come with having a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or with your kids or your coworkers or friends or something. Having those meaningful conversations and getting things all out in the open is a way to practice self-care rather than pushing it down and not acknowledging it. For many of my clients, having those meaningful, tough conversations where you're looking at each other and actually talking about something, that gives them so much more joy than even just like spending time or like watching a movie and not actually talking about the big things in your life. Leave a comment and let me know. Have you ever gotten a lot of energy and joy and happiness and kind of relief from having a meaningful conversation? And the last example I'm giving you is taking 2 days off per week. I'm a bit of a stickler with this with my clients. I insist you take 2 days off per week, whether those are the weekend days or other days during the week. All right, again, write down your ideas for white space edits that you want to make in your workbook and add some of those to your 12-week plan. Again, go back to session 1 if you need to work and refine your 12-week plan a little bit more. All right, are we ready? Let's get into the 10 commandments of self-care. And I would love to hear what commandments you would add to this too. So leave a comment and let me know. I am not a Christian. I think most of you know that now. I'm a Buddhist. But I will say I do love the old movie, The 10 Commandments, with Charlton Heston, and just like the whole Technicolor glory of it all, the sets, the costumes, the like richness of it, the overacting. It's just like cringy and wonderful at the same time. So I watch that at least once a year. I just love the spectacle of it all. But I am not a Christian. So those of you who are offended with me saying the 10 commandments of self-care, go ahead and leave a comment because the algorithm loves it all. All right, so let's talk about self-care. And I've got some commandments for you to follow. And I think most of you will agree with these, and they will help you live a happier, healthier life. Okay. Number 1, thou shalt put no one else before you. So I actually literally rewrote many of these commandments. So in the 10 commandments, it's put nobody else before God. Well, after God, put nobody else before you. And this is put yourself first. If you want to live a happy life, have energy to reach all of your great big goals, you've got to, as they say, put on your oxygen mask first. You've got to take care of yourself first before you'll have the energy to take care of anyone else. Does anyone want to fight me on that? Leave a comment and let me know. Do you forget to put yourself first? Or are you so busy concentrating on everyone else's happiness, everyone else's care, that you don't give yourself some time? And that doesn't have to be a ton of time. It could be 30 minutes in the morning just for you, drinking tea and reading a book. It could be meditating or going for a walk by yourself or writing in your journal. But you got to put yourself first, take care of your needs before you take care of everyone else. All right. Number 2, thou shalt not act like someone else. You shall not act like someone else. So think about it. Your self-care is going to be unique to you. Your self-care routine is not going to look like anyone else's. I want you to think about, what do you like? What gives you energy? What things fill you up? And just because other people like it doesn't mean you have to like it. So people say this about self-care. Oh, self-care, you got to take bubble baths and read and write in your journal and stuff. But if that doesn't resonate with you, or that's not fun, what if you don't like bubble baths? You do not need to do that for your self-care. Do self-care that gives you energy, that fills you up. So for me, of course, that is reading. I do like reading a lot, but maybe you like exercising. I like walking my dog a lot for self-care, and cuddling with my dog too. Think about what types of things fill you up, and your self-care does not need to look like anyone else's. Third commandment is, thou shalt not take your energy for granted. Oh, yes. How many of us do this? We say, oh, I'm going to get to that later, or I'll take care of myself later, or I'll do my self-care later. Here's the thing. You have limited energy. Like, it's going to run out by the end of the day. And honestly, most people can't get back their energy by like sleeping in on the weekends or whatever. You're going to, if you keep draining your energy like that, you're going to be depleted. You're going to burn out. So don't tell yourself that, oh, I'll have energy to work out later, or I'll have energy to do my gratitude practice later, or I'll have energy to do whatever it is later. Do your self-care now. It's important. Do it when you have the energy. Don't tuck it behind other things or push it at the end of the day when you're already exhausted. Do it when you have the energy and time to focus on it. Think about that. Like, if you're doing your self-care, and like, let's say you are doing some kind of meditation, are you going to be totally focused in the morning? Probably. Maybe even during your lunch break. But at night, after you've been working an 8-hour day and your kids are screaming at you and the house is a mess, are you going to feel like meditating then? Probably not. It's probably not going to be as helpful as if you do it when you have the energy and focus to do it. So don't take your energy for granted. Number 4 is, thou shalt take 2 days off per week. You might have one Sabbath day, but we're taking 2 off here as life editors. So I want you to have a day where there are no shoulds involved. You don't have to work. You don't have to take care of anyone else. This is time for you to put those obligations aside and focus on your self-care, your white space, your hobbies, your health, your relationships, your self-esteem, whatever is important for you, for your self-care. Carve out 2 days a week for it. And I know that's going to be really hard for some of you, especially those of you who work on your own businesses and you work from home. There's that like bleed where things like kind of get muddled, where you end up working every single day and you don't really have any days off. But I am insisting, as your coach, you must take at least 2 days off per week. And you can choose what days those are off, but no obligations, no shoulds. Just focus on your self-care and restoring your own energy. All right. Number 5, honor your time. So you have limited time. Time is a non-renewable resource. We've talked about this before. You can't make more time. You can't like be like, oh, I missed last week. Let me have another week here. Time keeps rolling on and there's no way to stop it. Whereas opposed to other forms of energy, like money is a renewable resource. You can always earn more money. You can always get another job. They print more money every single day. But time is limited. So if your time is limited, make time for your self-care. So have short little self-care breaks throughout your day. If you're doing the Pomodoro method, which we talked about before, where you're working for 25 minutes, then a 5-minute break, then working for 25 minutes, then a 5-minute break, that is an excellent way to build in self-care. You could read during your break, you could stretch, you could get a cup of tea, use the bathroom, walk around the block, whatever, but use that time to fill yourself up again. You might also want to use your time and honor your time by planning some larger self-care breaks. So maybe that's a 3-day weekend where you go sit in a hotel somewhere and just write or whatever, or sit by the pool. Or maybe you do some mini vacations or road trips with your friends. You can still have self-care with other people around you. So I want you to think about, like, what type of self-care would you need? Like, do you need 5 minutes of daily self-care plus 1 3-day weekend every quarter, and then 1 larger vacation every year? I don't know. That might be fun. Leave a comment and let me know, how do you honor your time and plan out your self-care? Personally, I love 3-day weekends. I love taking lots of self-care over a 3-day weekend. All right, number 6, thou shalt not confuse self-care and self-comfort. How many of you know the difference between self-care and self-comfort? They are not the same, and they are very, very different in terms of how you react to them. So self-care cares for you. It gives you energy. It fills you up. After getting self-care, you feel better afterwards. It cared for you. It literally is in the name. So it gives you energy. For some people, this is enjoying your hobbies, having a meaningful conversation, walking around the block, reading, whatever it is. You feel more energized and more like yourself after the self-care. On the other hand, self-comfort comforts you in the moment, but it is numbing you out so you don't have to deal with your emotions. So after you do self-comfort, there's no resolution. You don't feel more energized. You just feel numbed out and kind of gross. So self-comfort for you might be binging hours and hours of TV, or binging tons of junk food too. It might be sleeping all day long without getting out of bed or taking a shower. It might be indulging in drugs or alcohol or risky sex or something like that. So self-comfort comforts you in the moment. You're distracting yourself, but you're numbing yourself out too, and you're not dealing with your emotions. So you're not getting more energy by doing self-comfort. So when you are looking at your planner and you're planning out your self-care for your week, think back, how many times did you do self-comfort thinking it was self-care? So you might want to say, like, oh, watching TV for 5 hours every night, that's my self-care. It's not, it's self-comfort, it's binging, even though it's binging like TV, and you're avoiding doing things that actually could give you energy, that actually could make you happier. And that's the thing about self-care. Sometimes self-care, because it cares for you, means you might need to do something different, like have a hard conversation, or you might need to like actually pull out your hobby, or get your books, or carve out time, or get a babysitter for your kids or something, so you can do something that gives you energy. I notice people who rely solely on self-comfort, they're just numbing themselves out and avoiding self-care. They end up feeling depleted, and they have no motivation to do their work, to do the goals that they want to achieve. So do not confuse self-care and self-comfort. Okay, number 7. Thou shalt not waste money on quick fixes and band-aids. Not you, life editor. No, you never spend money to make yourself feel better. You never resort to band-aids. No. So what are we talking about? Well, again, I don't want you, this goes back to self-comfort. I don't want you to numb yourself with food, shopping, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever. I don't want you to numb yourself out and not deal with your problems. That's self-comfort. That's not self-care. So don't waste your money on those quick fixes that give you a jolt, but don't actually fix your problem or give you energy. So I want you to fix your problem at the source. So remember, if you're numbing out by watching a whole bunch of TV and not talking to your spouse, that's not fixing the problem. Fixing the problem would be having an honest conversation. Or let's say you want to spend time reading, but you keep saying like, oh, the kids are in the way. I can't read. I never have time for me. Well, fix the problem. Get a babysitter, and then you'll have time to read. Or read when the kids are asleep, or read during your lunch break, or read in the car before you come into the house with the kids. Fix the problem at the source. Don't resort to quick fixes or band-aids. I like to say it's like putting a band-aid over a gunshot wound. You don't want to do that. You want to fix the actual problem. Don't just cover it up with shopping or sex or drugs or whatever. Like, fix the problem at the source. It'll give you energy, and that's true self-care. Don't numb yourself out. Okay, number 8, thou shalt take daily self-care breaks. Yes, you deserve self-care and white space every single day. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care how demanding your family or your kids or your boss or whatever it is. You deserve self-care every single day. So that might mean getting up 10 minutes earlier so you can listen to your power song like we talked about, or do your short morning routine, or take a damn shower. Like, really, that's self-care too. Or it might mean getting creative, like working in self-care during your workday, like doing those Pomodoro sprints and having 5 minutes of self-care after every project. Or it might mean getting your partner to watch the kids for 5 minutes so you can do a yoga pose or something. Like, get creative with it, and don't say like, I don't have time, I don't have energy, or whatever. You do have time for self-care. You just got to get creative and find those daily little chunks of time where you can give yourself more energy. So daily self-care breaks. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say about daily self-care breaks is this is something I've been doing for years, and it's kind of caught on with my clients. And I recommend this for your very, very worst days. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. You have days where you're just totally unmotivated. You don't want to do a damn thing, and you're angry about it, but you've got to do some work. Like, you're up against a deadline, or someone's yelling at you and you have to get something done, but you do not feel it. You are totally not feeling it today. I do the 10 on, 10 off method. So I set a recurring interval timer on my phone. So it goes for 10 minutes, beeps, another 10 minutes, beeps, 10 minutes, beeps. So every 10 minutes, I do 10 minutes of work, and then I take a 10-minute break. And during the break, I might get some tea or stretch or put my head on the desk and cry, whatever, or watch a video on YouTube or something. And then when the timer goes off again, I do another 10 minutes of work. When the timer goes off again, I do a 10-minute rest. So the thing is, you might think, well, that's not very productive. No, it's not. It's only 30 minutes of work in every hour. But that 30 minutes of work per hour is much more than I would get done if I wasn't working with the timer, if I wasn't giving myself those self-care breaks, if I was fighting myself every step of the way to do work. Like, that's not productive. That's not helpful. And I know you've noticed this. Anytime when you feel like you're pushing through your work, but you're not feeling it, you're going to start making typos and mistakes. And you might send something out with like a really big error in it or something, or it's going to take you so much longer to get through it, like reading a paragraph over and over and over again. So give yourself permission to do what you need to do to take those self-care breaks so you can do that little bit of work. And for me, 10 minutes of work, 10 minutes of rest, 10 minutes of work, 10 minutes of rest. That helps me on my very, very worst days. So leave a comment and let me know if you ever do that, if you ever feel like, well, I've got to do something today, I've got to make progress in some way, but I do need my self-care too. So Tanya says, I need to schedule time for daily self-care. Yes, yes. Set a timer for yourself. Put it in your daily planner as if it was any other important appointment, because it is. It doesn't have to be a lot. I say 5 minutes of self-care a day. I will still take that as a win. I will take whatever you can give me. All right, moving on. Number 9, thou shalt use treats and rewards. Yes, yes, yes. I never, ever get sick of talking about treats and rewards. I'm sure some of you are sick of me talking about treats and rewards, but I will never stop talking about it until you do it. Until you do it, Life Editor. Here's the thing. The vast majority of my followers and clients do not have a treats and rewards schedules, but the ones who do reach their goals much, much faster with less stress and burnout. So please, please, life editor, I command thee to make a treats and rewards schedule. So here's the deal. Treats are free or inexpensive things that you give yourself every single day simply for being a human being, because you are worthy of grace and love and compassion. So your daily treats might be something like your favorite coffee drink from Starbucks, or it might be watching YouTube videos for 5 minutes or whatever, or it might be reading a magazine or reading a favorite book. Or it might be, I don't know, wearing your favorite necklace or something like that. Treats are free or inexpensive things that you give to yourself every single day just to show yourself compassion. You deserve daily treats. Next are rewards, and rewards cost money. They're bigger, and you only earn them through concentrated effort. And ideally, your rewards should take you to the next level of success. So we talked about this before. Let's say you are losing weight and you lose whatever, your first 10 pounds. Your reward should be something to take you to the next level. Like maybe you buy a new workout outfit, or maybe you hire a trainer, or maybe you get a meal delivery service or something. Your reward should not be like eating 10 pizzas and a big chocolate cake. That will undermine your progress. Or let's say you're paying off debt and you pay off $1,000. Your reward should be something to help you get to the next level. Maybe it's hiring a financial advisor or signing up for some kind of budgeting app. It would not be to like go buy a yacht or something. That's not a good reward. So here's the thing, and I know people fight me on this all the time, and I don't know why, when I'm literally telling you, if you make a treats and rewards schedule, you are going to reach your goals faster, you are not going to burn out, and you're going to feel so, so good. Like there's like nothing like having a beautiful reward waiting for you at the end of a goal. So make your treats and reward schedule, life editor. Like, come on, you can totally do this. And if you need help coming up with daily treats, daily free or inexpensive treats, and then proper rewards to take you to the next level, let me know. Leave me a comment and I will help you out with that. All right, last one. We're down to our last commandment of self-care. Number 10, thou shalt not covet someone else's life. No. Do not get caught up in comparison, life editor. You are beautiful and perfect just as you are. So don't compare yourself to other people and be like, why can't I have their business? Why can't I have their family? Why can't I have their money? Or whatever it is. You do not need fancy cars or big old vacations or whatever. If you go back to session 2, when we talk about those happiness hacks and how to stay grateful for where you're at right now, I want you to focus on the things that are going well for you right now. And yes, for some of you, it might not be a lot, but at the very least, you have internet and you're able to watch this video. You're breathing, you have eyes. You woke up this morning. Thousands and thousands of people did not wake up this morning, but you did. So be grateful for those things and don't get caught up in comparing yourself to what you don't have that other people have. There will always be someone more successful than you, more prettier than you, more richer than you, whatever it is. There will always be people in front of you. And that's okay, because there's always people behind you too. There is someone who's like 5 steps behind you who's thinking about your life and you're not even appreciating it. So think about that. Don't compare yourself to other people. Just try to be the best edited you that you possibly can be. All right. Open up your workbook. I want you to write down those 10 commandments of self-care and write down the next steps to implement your self-care. And remember, I want many of you to add these things into your 12-week plan. Shall we recap real quick? Thou shalt put no one else before you. Thou shalt not act like someone else. Thou shalt not take your energy for granted. Thou shalt take two days off per week. Thou shalt honor your time. Thou shalt not confuse self-care and self-comfort. Thou shalt not waste money on quick fixes or band-aids. Thou shalt take daily self-care breaks. Thou shalt use treats and rewards, and thou shalt not covet other people's lives. All right. Remember, we've got a giveaway this session. We are giving away the Mind Over Matter Starter Pack, which contains 5 of the most popular lifestyle video training classes from the Life Editor Clubhouse membership site. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is to like this video and leave a comment either on Facebook or YouTube. Doesn't matter which one. And you will be entered into the giveaway to win the Mind Over Matter Starter Pack. And of course, one last time, doors are now open for Life Editor Academy. Let me pop up the link here. It's also in the description. So you can now apply for this 5-month mastermind group for ambitious women who are ready to finally reach their great big goals. So from health to home, finances to family, business to busyness, we tackle it all in the academy. So you get one-on-one calls with me, you get group calls, you get accountability partners, you get 3-hour virtual retreats every single month. We have a book and movie club, we have exclusive videos, exclusive worksheets, and so much more in the academy. And a private portal, like there's tons of stuff. So click the link below and get all the details about the academy and apply now. But before I let you go, let me give you a video from one of our previous academy graduates.
My name is Judy Covet, and you can find me at judycovet.com. I joined Life Editor Academy because I felt that I needed some guidance and clarity. I wasn't really sure, at the time with my business, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do or how to start it. My favorite parts of the June retreat are getting together with everybody and getting to know them in person. And yeah, just chilling out and chatting and getting to know each other. That was cool. What I learned this weekend is that I'm not the only one going through changes, questioning myself and my business. And I find that we're all in the same boat and that we're all going through the same things. So my thoughts of Sage is she's just so cute. I always look forward to talking to Sage. It's just getting her input and asking me questions that I didn't really ask, like I never thought of asking myself. So I always find her very informative, very cute, and very funny. I missed the first time, so the second time I thought I was gonna feel out of place because everyone already had met each other and everything, but no, I feel like I've known them forever, and yeah, it's instant bonds with everybody. If you need help in whatever your journey that you're thinking of making, a new journey or a new business or something in your life, definitely take a look at Sage because she is the bomb.
Thank you so much, Judy. You're the bomb. Awesome. All right, just a reminder, you can now apply for Life Editor Academy. And if you enjoyed this virtual retreat, we do this every month in Life Editor Academy. For the next 5 months, we go through one step of the life editing process per month. And we have videos, worksheets, movies, books that we're reading, and accountability partners, and we're all working through the life editing process together. Plus, we're tackling your biggest goals. So what do you want for the next 5 months? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to get fit and healthy? Whatever it is, clean up your whole house. We're here for you in the academy. So if you are looking for more support and you want to work with me personally too, I would love to see you in Life Editor Academy. Doors are open right now. There's the link, and you can apply today. You've got until June 24th to apply for Life Editor Academy. All right, Life Editors. Thank you so much for being here with me all day long for the Life Editor Weekend virtual retreat. I've had so much fun sharing my life editing process with you, giving you tips and tricks, and interacting with you. Now, if you couldn't make it today and you are watching the replay, go ahead and leave a comment. Remember, leaving a comment and liking a video enters you in that session's giveaway, so don't forget to do that. You got all weekend long through Sunday, June 12th to watch, June 12th, 2022, to watch the videos for the Life Editor Weekend virtual retreat and enter the giveaways. As always, Life Editors, thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you for being here and supporting me and my business. And I really hope that life editing helps you reach your goals. I'm really rooting for you. All right. Thanks again for being here at the retreat, and I will talk to you again real soon. Bye.